Don't just stand there teasing me. Now it's time to show and prove.
It's another beautiful Sunday afternoon. This is Rubbin Minds. Welcome. My name is Ebuka Obi Uchendu. Thanks a lot for joining us. Kicking off the show today, looking at news from the front pages. A lot's been happening around the world in a week. That's been the third week of President Donald Trump's presidency in the United States. And a lot of the world's attention has been focused on a lot of his actions and words and, trying to understand what that means for countries around the world. But even here in Nigeria, a lot of very interesting, for want of a better word, things have been going on. We woke up sometime this week hearing that there's been a proposal to add 31 states to the already 36 that exist here in Nigeria. And a lot of us are trying to wrap our hands around that. Let's start the conversation today. Maybe my guests can help me understand. I'm joined now by Margaret Obolu and Justice Ojeno. Thanks a lot for being here today.
It's my pleasure.
I saw this and I wasn't sure what that meant. Is it a case of we're going to pick some from these 31, or are we going to suddenly have 67 states? At a time when people are even saying the 36 are a little too much. What did you make of this?
So upon seeing that, my first impression was, what was the purpose? What is the purpose behind having more states? Because as it were, we're already having a lot of economic instabilities at this time. So I'm wondering first, what is the purpose behind this? And how is that purpose going to help us achieve economic prosperity, even at this time where we are joining through? So that was really my first inclination upon seeing this bill. I'm dazed, but I'm trying to understand what the purpose is and how this is going to help us get to achieve economic prosperity as a nation.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of pending issues that have been, I don't want to say this is distracting us from that, but it looks like this is distracting us from that. So what is the purpose of establishing more 31 states, making that a total of 67 states, while we are here to get good grip on our organizational structure as a nation and attain leadership excellence? Thank you.
So, maybe in the past, when you hear stuff like this, you'll be like, they're just trying to... But we live in a world now when you can't take anything for a joke anymore. Because anything can literally happen. On the one side, there's the argument that, we need more states so that, development and, the impacts of government can be felt closer to the people. But on the other hand, you wonder, that's why we have local governments, right?
Absolutely.
What have we done to strengthen these local governments? Because state governments don't seem to want to relinquish these powers that they hold. Do more states solve this problem? Do we scrap local governments? Do we have even more local governments than the 774 that we have already?
Okay, for me, I actually think that I don't want to go the route of the generality of the people by just a la carte saying that it's all bad. We have to also look at what are the reasons for this clamor. And one of the major reasons is because of the hue and cry of injustice to the high heavens of some people who possibly and legitimately would have been marginalized. And I feel that is a major reason why some people are clamoring for some of these states. And some people too is just for identity purposes. They want to also be identified in the scheme of things, whilst we also cannot be over-speculating if we say that some people are out there for their pockets, that is the reason why they are pushing for these things. But if you leave me to my own will, I will say that out of the 31, I will endorse just one. And if you probe me further as to why I'm endorsing just one, I will say that the Southeast as a geopolitical zone has just 5 states, and I will especially appeal and endorse for there to be an additional state to at least bring them up to par with some 5 other geopolitical zones. It looks like we have one that will have 7, because if it is just every geopolitical zone having 6, then it would have been, the 36 states would have been 6 per geopolitical zone. So that we have one that has just 5, it means there is some great injustice somewhere. So whether there should now be proliferation of further states because we want governance to get trickle down to the last person on the street, I will not endorse that, because we know that the instrumentality of states, as we have a governor, we have the deputy governor, we have a full cabinet, the cabinet has special advisors, they have senior special advisors, they have special advisors with the special advisors, and he almost knows no end. So I feel that it's putting so much strain on the resources of states. So to that end, I will not go all out to endorse 31 states like that, but just one state, personally, to me, of course, a lot of people too, they are free to disagree with me on that point.
Do you not agree, like I said, with the fact that, I mean, many people will give you the argument that when we were regions, yes, there was some progress, regions knew what they were good at. The North was agriculture, all of that. But when we created states, certain regions, were more visible. Whether it's in the North, places like Ebonyi State, there were states that maybe were swallowed by bigger, state capitals or whatever you want to call it. Is that argument not tenable to say that maybe there are certain parts of this country where they may never see certain forms of development? Anambra State has this capital today as Oka. Before it was broken out of Enugu, Oka was a village. Many will tell you, but development has come because it's the capital there now. Is that a tenable argument to say this is a way to bring some form of infrastructural development, besides the fact that, of course, running states are very expensive? You didn't even count the state assemblies and all the paraphernalia that comes with them. Is that an argument you can put forward for that?
Well, if that were to be the goal, as I said earlier, our goal would then be to strengthen our structures, because we already have a plethora of systems and structures that are, whether monumentally put in place or put in place for those purposes. If we can strengthen that, we can actually achieve that while also setting up our government in such a way that everybody is represented. If that is the case, then that would be fine. But I don't think that having more states will lead to us having a more inclusive society or nation, as it were. Because then you will have to consider, you have to put into consideration the government, there's state government, like you said, there is local government, then that will be replicating that all over again. For which set of people? If you are dividing the state, you are dividing the number of people there. It is still the same number of people. Okay, you are putting that, and you are putting, so out of them, they will be represented. Does that mean that in the wholesome space, when they get to the federal level, those people will also be represented? Because then there will still be some states that will be bigger than others. So then they will still be lost in the maze of everything. Yeah. So I think we should just move. I would suggest we focus on strengthening our structures.
The entire constitutional drama is giving me a headache, because as you mentioned that now, every state has to have a minister, for example. Yes. So we're going to have almost 70. Let's move on to INEC. Because this week we did hear that INEC is going to prosecute, I think, over 700 electoral offenders from the last election. And it's weird to me that it took 2 years to get to this point where they're acknowledging that this is happening. We know that illegal procedures in Nigeria take time. But to even start this 2 years after the election, when we know that the election season is already coming up again, also with INEC continually talking about, there were just minimal incidents during the last elections. What does this say to you?
Okay, for me, I feel that, let me just first outstate that time doesn't run out on crime. That's in our own legal system. In some other legal systems, they talk about a particular crimes are started bad, so you can't prosecute it again. So I'm even happy that they are for the first time coming out to say they are prosecuting criminals. But 774. In particular, it will look like it is a huge number, but if you break it into number of local government,
one incident
it's one incident per local government, and you'll be living under a rock to say that in the past election that it was just one person that committed an electoral crime in even one ward, talk less of a local government. So I feel that, is a good step in the right direction, even though it's a drop in the ocean. And I pray that it doesn't stop at just prosecution. We should have convictions, because the essence really of criminal prosecution is deterrence. It is impossible for any country, I usually always say, it is impossible for any country to prosecute every single criminal that commits a crime in a state, because even in Nigeria, we have just our prison system is taking just 80-something thousand people, and that is like 0.00001% of the entire. And despite that, it's even busting to it seems. You can't even properly cater for them. So the essence really is deterrence. Prosecute, prosecute, prosecute. Bring your media, organize a media party, bring the media, let it go into the world that, yes, if you commit an electoral crime in this country, we will prosecute you and you will not go for free. At least that will serve as a deterrent to deter some people from even contemplating it.
Yeah. Most people have also talked about INEC itself, because a lot of people have opinions about how INEC conducted the last elections and, what they could have done differently and what they did wrong, and haven't admitted in many cases, even though people have shown evidence and all of that. So who prosecutes INEC? Do they prosecute themselves? Are they a part of this, particular process? A lot of people have questions with the organization itself, especially looking forward to another election. Even with these other elections that have happened since then, the state elections, there's been even bigger questions. A lot of them are in tribunals and the courts now. It makes you wonder, where do we go from here with INEC itself?
With INEC. Well, I feel for us as a nation, this is where we ourselves will now have to, as the government, I will appeal to the government, because it's not something we can do. But if you are appointing people to fill up bodies and organizations that should help also in ensuring that we have a free and fair election, we should have a process of selection, and there should be consequences for people. There should be that in place. So anybody going there knows that they too, they will be put under a microscope, they will be put under a bomb. So that is something the federal government has to really look into, because, okay.
Yeah. Maybe to both of you, let me start with you, because you are a lawyer, right? Why do we not have a system where electoral issues are resolved between election and swearing in? Why is it so hard? We see Ghana, for example. I think theirs is even just a month or thereabout between the elections and swearing in. The United States is about 2 months. You have that window to sort everything out because there must be a president sworn in at this time. We have a system where people are sworn in, election cases are pending. If they lose, they now come out and we replace. Why are we still there? Why is it so hard? Because it seems like an indictment on the judicial system.
Oh, the judicial system is left holding the bag again. We are blaming the judicial system again, but we have to remember that the role of the judiciary, pursuant to Section 6 of our Constitution, is merely to interpret the provisions of the Constitution and the provisions of the laws, extant laws and regulations and guidelines, as in the case of INEC guidelines, that guide the prosecution of elections and also the litigation that comes afterwards. We must remember that these are as a result of our present constitutional provisions, the Electoral Act, and the Evidence Act. And just like a lot of people have been clamoring since the fallout of the past election, we must ensure that before the next election, we amend our Electoral Act and the Evidence Act in particular. Let me give you a particular example. There's a rule against hearsay. The rule against hearsay says that it is only a person that heard something, that saw something, that felt something, or that smelled something that can give a testimony of that particular thing. So if something happened at a polling unit, for example, it has to be the person that saw it that will be able to give a testimony at the tribunal that this was the particular thing that happened at my polling unit. And that's the only time the electoral tribunal can strike off that particular polling unit. check out the number of polling units that we have in this country. It's in hundreds of thousands. So it means that if we want to prosecute, pursuant to our present laws, we have to compress all those witnesses into the witness box. And one witness will have to go through examination, cross-examination, potential re-examination. And that, Ebuka, is practically impossible within 1 month, within 2 months, within 10 years, I dare to say, because every lawyer has a right to examine a witness to his own satisfaction and cross-examine a particular witness to his own feel. So that is why I feel that in order for us to be able to have or enjoy what other clients are enjoying, like Ghana, America, or any other country that enjoys this kind of quick disposal of electoral issues pending inauguration, I feel that we need to amend the laws. Let me repeat it again. We need to amend our constitution, we need to amend our electoral act, and we need to amend the Evidence Act and the INEC guidelines, and ensure that the INEC guidelines too are enforceable in courts. If that is not done, we will cry the same cry that we cried in 2023.
Let me just give you one sentence before we go. I mean, a lot of these things seem like it's not going to happen before 2026 or 2027. You've seen the state elections that have happened. Edo is currently in the hot seats, basically. Yes. I think Anambra is the next one coming up. Are you confident going into the next general elections without a lot of these things being possible that INEC will deliver?
Like we said, if our goal is to ensure that we have a free and fair elections, there are structures that should be put in place to ensure that we have that. And most of what my colleague here has already said are part of the things we should look into. With all that has happened, everybody, I wouldn't want to say everybody because that would be, but for the most of the masses that are crying that, okay, this was not their choice. This is what they are saying. And to ensure that we give people, our results are based on a free and fair election. Those structures should be put in place so that going forward into the next election, we can then be confident, because as at now, as it stands, with the structures put in place and everything on ground, I dare say.
It's going to be a long conversation. I mean, general elections are still far away, but because of how the elections keep coming up, it's an ongoing conversation. Thank you very much. We'll be watching the 31 states unfold in the coming days and weeks and months ahead. And of course, eyes on INEC and the prosecution of these electoral offenders. I mean, we believe people who offend should be prosecuted, like you said, and face justice. Thanks a lot for joining us here today. We'll take a quick break now and we'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Don't just stand there teasing me. Now it's time to show and prove.
Welcome back. Now, I think the one thing a lot of us have been wondering is how are we going to grow the Nigerian economy? We did see data from, I think it was the IMF saying that per capita GDP had dropped to about $800+ probably the lowest it's been in over 2 decades. And we've got a lot of people wondering, what are we going to do to fix this? Yes, we're waiting for the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics to rebase the GDP and hopefully get realer numbers, even though some people are doubting what it might be before it even comes out. We're going to be talking today about how we're going to sell Nigeria to grow the economy, but not in the way you're thinking. I'm joined by Wale Ayontoye. He's a tech lawyer and entrepreneur. Thanks for being here today.
Ebuka, thank you for having me on the show.
What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Because those numbers blew my mind. We've gone from, I think, a high of about 3,000 plus sometime in 2013 or so per capita GDP to $800.
Yes.
Close to numbers we hear in Somalia. You know, makes you wonder, how did we get here? Yes, people are saying the GDP rebase is going to happen and we're going to see what the actual numbers are, even though some skeptics are saying the numbers are going to be overinflated and all of that. But what are we not doing right?
That's $1 million question. Firstly, if you take a look at so many international organizations, either fintech or other producing organization, if they're thinking of Africa, they don't think about Ghana, they don't think about Kenya, especially Africa penetration. Their focus is always Nigeria, because Nigeria has the populations. Nigeria has the human capital. Pretty much everything we need in order to thrive and lead that aspect of economic empowerment and drive that growth, let's leave the international space out now. Within Africa, Nigeria has it. Nigeria is the focal point, regardless of whatever businesses that you're trying to build, either you're trying to grow, scale, or anything. Nigeria is always very, very important to everybody. So the question is this: if the international community understand, or international organization understand how powerful Nigeria is when it comes to driving economic empowerment within the continent, why are we not seeing it ourselves? That is where the main issue is. Our major dependence on other aspects of resources that we have, and we're leaving other things that we can easily market with a little effort to international community. That is part of the areas that we're actually lacking as of today.
I feel like every head of state or president we've had for decades talks about the need to focus on agriculture. You know, we've had different sorts of programs to try and boost that. You know, human capital is not something we're lacking. Now, some of the countries who have been able to leapfrog, you know, whether you're talking about the Asian tigers or anywhere in South America, is because of the numbers they have, whether it's Brazil, Indonesia, India, China, because of the numbers they have, which Nigeria has.
Yes.
You know, so it makes you wonder what we're doing wrong. We keep talking about, we need to grow agriculture. We need to do better with manufacturing. All in all, the one focal point is always export, export, export. We need to be an export-driven economy. So it makes you wonder, it's not a case of us not knowing what to do,
Yes.
but not doing it. Why is there that impediment there?
One of the main issues is the fact that we don't really understand the power of SMEs, the small, medium business owners. They are the bread and butters of every economy. If you take a look at China as of today, one of the things that has helped China is the industrialization of the Chinese economy. One of the first things that the Chinese did, aside the fact that they invested heavily in locally made goods and productions, and now when you start thinking about the cross-border exports, that's where one of the things they did was they made it very affordable to export. Today, when you have people that live abroad and they come to Nigeria, you start having friends and family telling them, help me bring Ankara-inspired fabrics, help me bring this, help me bring that. Not because they can't necessarily get it over there, but when you look at the cost of shipping cross-border, it becomes way more expensive when you start adding 1 + 1 together. Chinese have already solved that. A kg from China to the US as of today is probably less than $1. It's a couple of cents. But a kg from Nigeria to the US is probably about $5 or $4. When you start looking at the cost of that, and then also the devaluation of Naira against foreign currencies, when you start doing the math, it becomes very difficult in that aspect. I think aside the conversation that has been happening on paper, every new government coming in and saying, oh, we want to invest in agriculture, we want to expand the exportation of it. I think the simplification of the policies is very, very important. And also the support that has been provided to these SMEs, rather than these SMEs thinking of my business is for daily survivors, they should start thinking of my business is for a larger profitability, because there's a global market out there that wants what you're selling. Locally made goods made in Africa, the world are already woken up, especially around sustainability, eco-friendly product, biodegradable product. Nigeria has that in abundance. We don't have to search far and wide in order to get that. We are blessed beyond. But when it comes to the policies that help facilitate this trade, that is where the main conversation needs to start happening. Yeah. And that is what we're not seeing as of today.
I mean, we heard this last week about, you know, Aliko Dangote, who's now selling fuel to Saudi Arabia. And a lot of people are wondering, Saudi Arabia, but that's not even on a macro large scale. You know, we see what's happening in entertainment.
Yes.
And tech.
Yes.
You know, entertainers have been able to export their art and their trade and, you know, wield this soft power for Nigeria in spite of policies, in spite of government. And it goes to what you were saying about, you know, people want to buy this thing if you make it available. Tech is also doing that to a large extent. We're seeing, I mean, it might have slowed down recently, but there's been a boom in tech, yes. You know, with people having startups. Some are doing well. People are crossing over on the continent. We're getting investors and VCs, you know, from the international community. How can that be replicated, if possible, you know, in other sectors, especially since you're in tech? What are you guys doing that the other sectors like agriculture, manufacturing needs to learn from to show what Nigeria can do export-wise?
I think you've answered the question. Like, with the way you answered it, I don't think I'm going to have a job tomorrow. But every joke's apart. Like you mentioned, entertainment has led the way. There is a huge global acceptance today of Afrobeat leading that. Nollywood is a huge one in India. Every Indian friends that I have watching Hollywood, and it was the reverse when I was growing up. A lot of us used to watch Bollywood when we were growing up, but it's the reverse. Now, when it comes to the tech aspect, the simplification of trade cross-border, firstly, cross-border payment has been solved for as of today. Now, you can easily send money from the US down to Nigeria, but when it comes to exportation, that is one aspect that, as of today, the likes of what we're doing on our side for the cross-border is very, very important. What we're doing is that we're bringing locally made African products and creating the platform where the international community can actually buy from these people directly. To give you statistics, last year alone, the need for made in African product was worth about $50 billion. And it is projected to grow to $1 trillion by 2030. And these are numbers that it can easily change. A good example was also the Dirty December. You saw a lot of people that came into the country. The opportunity is right there, and it's a moment that if we don't take advantage of it, Ghana is already thriving in that area by saying you can come back to Ghana, you don't need any kind of passport so long as you're African American. Don't worry, we're going to find a way to assimilate you back into the system. That is money coming back into the economy. It's improving the currency and all of that. In terms of what we're doing, the opportunity is that locally made African products, the world needs it. Now, if we don't make it easily accessible, guess who's going to make it accessible? The Chinese. It's going to get to a point where people will no longer care if it is made in Africa anymore.
As long as it's what they want.
So long as it is accessible to them and they can have it. And that is where some of this conversation needs to start happening. I know for a fact there are so many state governments today that have these youth empowerment programs, but it's not just enough to train people and give them the craft, subsidize and give them loan. You're still pushing them back into the same economy. They'll be selling to the same people who will find it very difficult to make ends meet. But what we're now saying is that rather than selling to your neighbor, you can now sell to international community. We're saying that we're bringing Africa to your doorstep at the cost of home. Because the main fear is, if I'm buying from Africa, they will charge me a broad price.
Yeah.
No, that is not going to be the case. And that's where tech comes in, facilitating that trade and controlling the pricing.
I mean, we did have a president in the past, President Buhari, who famously or infamously talked about Nigerian youths and laziness, and all of that. And people have wondered, are we just lazy? Because we see all these opportunities, but it doesn't seem to be exploited. Is it a case of laziness or the policies you're talking about? And I guess I'm leading into, you have an app, I believe.
Yes.
That's supposed to facilitate some of these things for young people, if possible. Talk to us about that very quickly.
Yeah, if it is laziness, I disagree. 100%, I'll tell you why. Because I'm a data person. The question we should ask ourselves is, why is it that when an average Nigerian lives in Nigeria, and they go to Europe, they go to North America, Australia, they thrive? I'm a living example of that. I'm based out of Houston, Texas. I've had a chance to work for big organizations within tech and all of that. And here today, we are launching our own and we're building it and bringing it back to the continent. So I don't think it's a case of laziness. It's a case of not having the right policy to be able to support these individuals. And average Nigerians are trying. If you look at some of the fabrics, some of the materials that Nigerian produces, Nigerians are extremely talented. But the truth is that no matter how talented you are, if you don't have the right policy, right structure, right infrastructure to support you, the easiest thing is just say you're lazy.
What's your app called?
Way out.
What's your app called?
It's called Giri Today, Giri Today, Giri Today.
Look out for it. That might be the beginning of your glory story. Thanks a lot, Wale, for joining us today.
Absolutely.
And we hope Nigeria has a better end to the year than the way it started.
I hope so. Thank you so much, Ebuka.
We'll take a break now. When we come back, I have a very special guest you want to hear from. Stay with us.
Don't just stand there teasing me. Now it's time to show and prove.
Yeah, it's already chaotic here in the studio because I'm joined by a special guest. The media landscape has changed completely in the last couple of years. And the streaming and social media is slowly becoming the platform for a lot of people, especially young Nigerians and globally, to receive the news and content. And I'm joined by one of, if not the most popular one, from TikTok. Peller is here with me.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Let me start with this name first, Peller.
Okay.
Where did it come from?
Hi, name of a Peller. I can't say it's somewhere like this it come from because before I just put Professor Peller when I am in school. That time I just put Professor Peller because when I did do this disappear comedy something. This no come cool. So I just change that Professor Peller, I can't put only Peller because I can't dey go live Zoom. I dey get 10 few, 20 few. 20,000 they enter every day, like every day 20,000. And man, they happy with that. I did not even think of say, the thing they go up. That moment, nah, the best for me. So I just put that Peller like that, and the thing will grow gradually. In fling up.
So what's your real name?
My real name is Apipa Musat. Yeah.
Do you talk like this normally? Or is this your social media English or language?
Okay. I don't. Oh my God! I don't talk like this. Oh, I have original English. If you want that, I can give it to you.
Let's hear that. Let me just.
Okay.
You can see the difference.
Yeah. Okay. What do you want me to talk?
Tell us about, were you born in Ikorodu?
Okay, probably I'm from Ikorodu, yeah. But I was born in Ibadan.
Okay.
Yeah, in 2004, May 10. Yeah, I can remember that. So, I think like 2006, I was deported to Ikorodu. Yeah, that is not the English you want. No me to say you want person English, I'm giving to you. Yeah, I love it. No, I'm deported to Ikorodu. From Ikorodu, I grew there, I learned there, I chopped there, now there be my life. So I grew up there. I saw this there. Yes.
So before TikTok and all of that, what were you doing?
Before TikTok, it was school and it was furniture. Yes.
You were a carpenter?
This table that I did my front side, I don't know everything. I don't know the circle, I don't know the ankle, I don't know every formula of it.
When did you start carpentry?
I've started carpentry in, I think 2000. I thought they do this thing, printing press. Yes, my
How
daddy.
old were you then?
I am, I think, 13 or 14.
Okay.
I'm doing this. I'm running away. I don't want to learn work. Because I see people learn walking. Like I could see like 60 years old person pumping tire in beside road. I go there and think, me my life no be like this. Oh. Even the people where they do the principles, they don't get big gas, say they be for them. Now renting they rent out. They call down on my own boss, make me they work for person wey rentals. How me even renting of a house, how me I want to take so me I don't dey run, me I go dey go feed that time. I go dey go feed my papa. So if I go reach house for night, I go tell them say, good day, say you hear Yoruba, I will push Yoruba, one Yoruba, and I just get out and say a cabo. It means say like I don't go work since morning. I mean I don't go work, you might go play football for my. So my mom could just say, okay, oh, you're welcome, do. So, man, I don't even know. Say my mommy don't go to my work, like afternoon time. You can't find me go. So then I come to her and say, Peller people never they come work for like some 3 months now.
So another time you can't start carpentry?
No, my daddy come home. My mommy don't prepared. Me I come enter house in the night. Say you're welcome. I say, today, what we do? Our boss, he do this, he do that. My mommy don't ready, don't come my daddy. My daddy say, Fichilam team. You know what they call Fichilam team? Like securities. So he come carry me. My daddy come carry me, go in place where they work. They come beside me, they flog the floggers openness after my life. They piss it. I say, I will not do that again. I will not do that. So they go say, what do you want to learn? But the fear would take my mind. Me, I don't want to learn anything. The fear would take my mind. I come tell you, oh yeah, I want to do furniture. I say, furniture, if you take you there, you will not be running away like you're running for. I say, okay, yes, I will not be running away. They can't take me to the furniture place too. I can't learn the furniture. I see they studying that one small. But that my furniture person, now couldn't pay the drive. Now one small motor like the drive. I want to say, for bus so they drive this up. Me, I don't be they drive keke be that so. I don't be see money for keke.
So was it when you were doing furniture that you started TikTok?
Probably yes. Because that time I am going to SSTV. And when I did SSTV, I can't do the furniture. They go, yes, you carry. Yeah.
So at what point did TikTok become? Do you remember your first video that made you say, this is probably what I'm going to face?
Probably I can't say it because it's me and my girl. That girl.
Which girl?
That girl, you know.
Which girl?
Which girl is your head?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Okay, like Jaffis.
Oh, okay.
You don't know Jaffis?
I just know as you talk.
I lied. I don't believe that. Okay. So it's me and now we are doing the AI something.
Where did you know her from? You just met her on TikTok?
I met her on TikTok and I met others. I met you.
Okay.
Yes. I met her on TikTok. He started saying we should be going live. But me and the girl Chloe, it go together. Because me and the girls 200 feet before, 100 feet. The first day I talked to the girl on live Zoom, I have, I think, maximum of a 1.5 thousand words. Herself, she can't have like 2,000. She getting more than me. But because say, now she get the talents. Me, I don't get talents. I don't do my own. They go on TikTok. People just say, what is funny about this point? Me himself, no, say nothing funny about me. Me say they see something put for mouth. You know, concern me. You laugh or you don't laugh. Me say they money on the, but she get talents. They do the AI something. Bring it to Nigeria. First get so bring AI to Nigeria. Me, I wanna give her a flower first. Javis, take your flower. You bring that to Nigeria. They don't know what they have. They will not value it until they lose it. They can't even lose it until they lose themselves. So we can't do the thing together. Olamide Pado, you can't post us for Instagram story. Olamide cannot just post
anybody.
You never post it up person before. Like maybe just post it up person on the story or page. Like you can't post up for him. He post up for Facebook. Instagram, he post them like these people, just post them like that.
And from there?
From there, people just, they posted you, so. Concerts don't they coming in. A lot of people, they call, come Lekki. So from Lekki, you can be coming, so come shoot with us, They put 50,000 for my pockets.
So how much do you make on TikTok? On an average?
How much I make on TikTok? Me, I no lie. Other way that they talk say, he's 200 million. No, maybe I don't talk that say again. How much I'm making on TikTok? Like me, because me, I don't go to TikTok. I don't go to TikTok to be making money.
Yeah.
I go there because before I'm interested in making money on TikTok. Like, hey, I want to be doing tap, but in this life, you have to have strategy. And strategy I use. I noticed that once I'm asking for gifts, when my feels they go down. So my things like that, they go. But when I'm just talking normal, I think my people love me. Even if people where they say, nobody, they keep watching me when I'm just talking normally.
Yeah.
So the thing will just, if now, I will just do live stream, talking. I don't go ask for gifts. When I end the live stream, I feel still like, maybe $2,000, $3,000 for like 20 to 30 minutes. $3,000.
You do lives every day?
Yeah, no, not every day like that. I don't do live stream every day like that. You don't have your face to be every day. If your face is every day, you will have
so
it for
in a
concept.
week you can do like what?
In a week I can do live like maybe 3 times.
$2,000 times 3. What's the most you have made in one live?
In one live I have made like maybe $10,000. Yes. The day where I play, if I play mass, I don't play mass like that. Like if I play, the day where I play big mass, like big one, I make like $10,000. I was surprised. Maybe that first time, say if I first make because they always make $7,000, $8,000. But the day I made that 10 was for one live stream because no money for that. Money no did live the TikTok before. So I just see the $10,000. I go, he?
So on average, you're making give or take like 15K a week.
What? Yeah.
Make I just put average.
You are getting there, but no.
More than that?
No. TikTok 10%.
I'm talking of what you make first before the
what me I make, I can say
in a week
on TikTok. Yeah. If I'm active on TikTok, I can make maybe 20 million or 15. Yes.
Million naira.
Yes.
That's very impressive.
Impressive.
Huh?
How?
So how much does TikTok take?
TikTok say, TikTok key, they go come up from inside though. See, like that $2,000 now, if you collect it on TikTok, if you withdraw like maybe 1.5 from it, yes,
Okay.
them they don't take their own with that.
That's still not bad. So this Jarvis situation that a lot of people are wondering, is it real? Is it not? How are you 19 and you're proposing? You know, they say, oh, it's just to make money together.
To make money together.
Yeah, that's why you are pulling this engagement marriage
No,
stunt.
my brother, are you helping them to be say so? Are you helping them?
I'm asking. So
No help them to be say so. Because they collect swear for one side like that. So no pay among the swear collector. So me, I've loved the girl. No, like from the day one I see the girl, it's her sister me it's her sister me I'm fighting with on live stream. Like, I love your sister, I do this with your sister. Gongo, she always sit beside her sister because her sister is like 16 years old. Me, I'm like 17 years old at that time. So I be tell her sister, I say we go this, suppose they kill, you know, come. Till now, we say it not snatch me from my sister. I don't go say it not snatch you, that me snatches her from her sister. But her sister, me and her sister is a play we are doing. But me and it's a play too, because me I don't call her phone one time like that. I call her, I tell her, say, you know, she just called me, she said, say what you are saying, you're lying. You are not meaning it. I said, I don't mean her like that. Because me I'm scared, because the way he called me, I say, I'm not your mate too. He tell me I age something. Say I'm not your mate. So if I slap you, if I do this, I say, I'm sorry, ma. That time I don't really respect her. Because that time I see the only collect money. That means if you make maybe 5 million a day on TikTok.
So are you guys together?
Are we together?
Are you engaged to Jarvis? Or was that a stunt for TikTok?
No, it's not a voice for TikTok.
But you're not engaged?
People are saying that I can just wake up.
That's a simple question I ask you.
No, I want to tell you something. You know, people are saying I can just wake up one day and Jarvis just, like, maybe her parents just give her one man for their village. But once they see the ring, they will never do so.
So you are giving her a ring now?
May I give her the ring? I put the ring in her hand.
So when is your wedding?
The wedding will be talking on maybe next month or next upper month.
March or April?
Yeah.
You have not fixed date, but it's next month?
Yes.
But you don't have a date?
I don't have a date. No. Yeah, it's here as we go to their family to go and see them. But me, I cannot.
Why? You want to marry somebody without meeting their family?
No, Penny. I don't want to go to Penny. The day I go to Benin, boy, he catch me for it. It will never catch me for my life. The day I just go there for his soul, he will catch me on my head. So I said, if family to come so lucky to come and see me.
I'll leave the audience to decide what they think about your answer. Because
it's not a bad answer.
You don't want to see the family, you want to marry her in March, but you don't have a date.
I also marry her, I don't have a date. And I will conclude the date.
March or April?
March or April.
You say next month or next month?
Like, you know, it's the family that will conclude it. But me,
the same family you don't want to meet?
I don't, no, I want the families to come. So, like, if the family come, like, happy, nice.
Let's leave that one.
Yes.
So we saw what happened with the United States recently, where they banned TikTok for a few days, for a few hours, actually, and brought it back. And what it did to creators, you know. Do you ever wonder if TikTok goes, what's the plan B for Peller? Because people love you now. TikTok
will never go.
You have almost 9 million followers now.
Yeah, right? Almost 9 million. No.
That's a lot of people. Is there a plan B? Is there somewhere else?
There's a plan B. There's YouTube. I'm streaming on YouTube once. So YouTube also give me money. Because the day I stream on YouTube, just small stream like this, I see something that come out from it. And if I pay on it, it would be a large way. Even you people go, I watch the people on YouTube, they made you understand? Yes. So the plan P, but YouTube, TikTok not my home. I don't care about Instagram. I don't care about if Instagram, may I get like 1,000 likes for Instagram. No concern me. I can't say my TikTok you the deal okay. Now TikTok gone. I pay so.
Are you done with school?
No. No. I want to go to university.
Oh, you still want to go to university?
I want to go to university. I want to, so people to be surprised. A lot of people have been talking out there, even my secondary school people will go to university. That me, when I want to finish my SSTV, because my father he tried best to send me to a rich school, like rich man picking school. So me I be friendship to those rich man picking friends. So the day we want to do our graduation, we want to do our graduation like that. So we say we know say we no go see so that again. I can't think I pass my life. Say hey, I can't collect all of them number. All of them say why may I collect your number? Now because they also they call it. How are you? Are you okay? I collect your number for the day of. Please send me 2,000. Please, I swear to God. But in the day I collect your number, like 1 week to that graduation like this, I'm just said making money on my own. When we say now, them go even Peller, oh my God, we saw you on TV. We saw. I say no worry. Yes, that's over. And thank you.
It's something you're definitely going to do.
I'll do it now.
University degree. Does it bother you that you didn't go further?
For what?
With your education. Is this something you think about?
No, it's not.
You just want to do it.
It's not something I think about. Like, if Olamide tell me that, it tells me that Peller, I want you to go to school. I go back to school. But a lot of people think I talk like this.
But you don't. It's an act. You just put.
I don't talk like this.
Yeah.
I don't talk like this. How? I don't talk, say, if I come here today, like, I will talk normal. If Jarvis, me and I, we are at home, like, talking, Jarvis will always surprise himself, like, Peller, be talking like this, I was like, yes, I can talk better. Like, I know how to talk better. The day you come to my mother, but no worry, I'm going back to school, fairness. I'm going back to school. Yeah, I'll be in the university, but I want to study in America own. I don't want to, because Nigeria own, I will not face my study. A lot of people become Peller in our class, can you come like that? So I will not concentrate. If you notice, all that content creators there, they do not only go to school in their when they play. Yeah. They don't go to universities because of something like that.
Before we end, I just want to ask you, you from Ibadan to Ikorodu to where you are now, where celebrities are looking for you. You've hung out with Davido, I think Tiwa Savage, just celebrities want to be a part of your platform. I saw an article recently that said if content creators were part of the Grammys, Peller would be Nigeria's hope. You're one of the biggest streamers on the continent. How does that feel? And what's the plan for 2025?
I have a lot of plans for 2025. But all these people are making it hard for me. I say not lie. I swear to God.
Which people?
All these musician people, I swear. See, me, I don't like to do somebody like, like God, like, I don't like it. Because, let's work together. If now,
you reach out to some people, they don't...
Like, yes, now, some people will be say you be musician, say, will be say, if you care for lower parts, I go reach out to you go, look, like say, who? No, let me mention.
Maybe they can hear now and come.
No, let them go check their own kidney, like, it's not good, like, but some too, they always come. Me, I will not pity them. I will not go collect any money for their hand. I will not put them. I will not do something. Me, they don't worry, Sha. It's not good. If it's American people,
they will want to go.
Even small girl, there's one small girl like this. I forget the girl name in America. That girl, it will be like 9 years old. That girl, he do interview with Whiskey Dio. The video, in international musician, we go call them like this. The guy go talk. Yeah, I'm live here. They will talk, but here like this. They see person like say you be poo-poo, like you stay get out. If people do live stream with you like this, they're not gonna talk to you again, and it's not good. It's not good at all. Man, I don't like all that thing, Jerry. No good.
Shout out to the ones who have come on your platform, obviously.
Shout out to them. Never shout out to them. See, shout out to them because we need to go. Yeah. We need to go. So
I guess the moral of this story is if you're an artist, if you are an entertainer, if you're a streamer, collaborate with Peller so that...
Collaborate! What is
let
there?
the brand keep growing.
Maybe do one or two follow. Yes. Thank you, my brother.
Joining us. And, you can follow him on TikTok. He's one of the biggest on the platform.
Yes.
And of course, like I always say, you can follow the conversation on social media. Please use the hashtag #RubbinMinds when you send us a message. I'll see you next Sunday.
Don't just stand